Jesse Waters did not stop there. We talked about how he is consciously reviving birtherism, because it worked. Well, it actually did work the first time.
No.
Trump got elected in 2016. It was a racist conspiracy theory about Obama, and now they're trying it again with Harris.
These the sort of low common denominator, easily understood by people who aren't paying attention type of things are useful in politics. So unfortunately, there's a lot of racists out there who'll be like, what? He doesn't have a birth certificate? That's crazy.
But I don't know if it's as useful when it's not novel. Like when
I think you can overdo it.
Trump's doing this with he tried with crazy Kamala at first. Now he's going with Comrade Kamala, which I think is at least a little funnier. But he'd been reusing or recycling some of the stuff he used for Hillary Clinton, where he's like, woman, okay, I can do this. It starts to be like, okay, I've seen this movie before, but let's see how Jesse Waters tries to bring birtherism back for Kamala.
Trump has to do the thing Democrats have been trying not to do. Tell us who the real Kamala Harris is. A weak fraud, fixated on being exposed, instead of fixated on you, the voter.
What?
Did you know that Kamala Harris didn't grow up in Oakland, as she always said she did?
Where did this strength and passion come from?
By the way, she wrote about this in her book. So
and this daughter of middle-class Oakland.
Kamala Harris grew up in Berkeley, the People's Republic of Berkeley. Berkeley, the most insanely liberal precinct in America. Her birth certificate lists an apartment right next to Berkeley's campus. It's a half block south of People's Park, which is basically ground zero for every single radical protest movement. Kamala attended Berkeley public schools and was even bused to Berkeley public schools, remember? That little girl was me. If you lie about where you grew up...
Okay, so she's lying about her... Why did she have to be bused to another school? If she was in this community that was so, liberal, elitist, wealthy, why would she have to be bused to another school? It's an interesting thing he skips over there. She moved around a ton as a kid. That's true. Her parents were professors, and so she lived in a variety of different places. But I think a lot of her childhood was in this area. At one point, she did move to Montreal when she was 12. But this early part of her life, this is pretty well documented. But keep going.
Public schools, and was even bused to Berkeley public schools. Remember? That little girl was me. If you lie about where you grew up, which is at the core of who you are, people can't trust you. Maybe one day she'll be asked about it. Or maybe not.
Remember how J.D. Vance is fucking from Ohio and acts like he's from West Virginia or something?
Where he summered. If you lie about your name, what else could people lie about? How many times has J.D. Vance changed his name? Because I think the ticker is up to 3. Yeah, it's so silly. I don't really know. I guess he pulled up her birth certificate there. What are we supposed to glean from that now? Because her parents were both immigrants, that she wasn't actually
They're
born
hiding
in the
that
United States?
that they met at Berkeley, which is famously a huge part of their biography.
Right. They're also, attempting to say how could she have been middle class with her parents being professors? First of all,
kind of middle class, and especially in expensive cities.
Yeah. How much do you think professors make? Secondly, I don't know if her dad was living with them or in her life at this period. So it may have been a
they
one
traveled
income.
to Jamaica occasionally to visit, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily. It might have been one singular income with her mother, right? Her dad's alive and it is not, I think, a part of her life. So I'm not exactly sure when that happened, but yeah, her story is well documented at this point. But if you have immigrant parents and those immigrant parents didn't come over through Ellis Island and are Irish or Italian, although if you ask J.D. Vance, that caused a lot of ethnic strife back in the day then too, according to him, then, it's just going to get questioned because this is this is how they apply, what they perceive as technical language to justify their racism.
Yeah, you know where Kamala was born?
What?
In Oakland. So at the hospital in Oakland. So it's kind of like how like people say, where are you born? Like I was raised in Mandan, but I would say Bismarck because that's where the hospital is.
Right. Lying. What else would you lie about, huh?
But that's like the line. It was like she's like born to the Oakland middle class. Gopalan was also known for her work ethic and dedication to her students. This is her mother. According to Los Angeles Times, after she had back surgery, Gopalan worked from an adjustable mattress in her Oakland apartment. So being a child of middle class Oakland, I think just objectively true. It turns out. So.
Well, okay. You know, Fox News may be not sending their best to investigate the Harris-Walz ticket. But
is King Cantona right? Sorry to cut you off there, but did the birth certificate literally say Oakland and Alameda County? I didn't even look that closely at it, but...
Well, typical, because you'll believe anything.
Hi, folks. Hey, you've heard me criticize how the mainstream media across the political spectrum either fails to report on important stories or prioritizes their own bias over balanced and comprehensive news coverage. Well, that's why I use Ground News as a solution on a daily basis. Longtime sponsors gather related news and add important context so you can understand how each outlet reports on it and maybe sometimes skews the facts. This, and being so close to the presidential election, you're going to see rhetoric against Harris and Tim Walz is only going to intensify. So I can't recommend enough that you check out Ground News's election page. My Vantage plan gets me access to their election-focused blind spot feed and diverse perspectives on each candidate so I can find the truth on who they really are, not just hear the loudest, most biased opinions. And areas where, frankly, the left or the right is not covering. For each story you read on their platform, you're going to find article Ground News found reporting on it, as well as tags to the next source indicating if they're independently owned or not, how credible their reporting is, and if they have any political bias one way or another, making it really easy to critically analyze different perspectives and come to your own conclusions. Their mission aligns so much with what we try to do on this show. We try and make you more media literate. So I can't recommend enough going to ground.news/majority or scanning my QR code to subscribe. Ground News is independent and subscriber supported. My viewers, however, will save 40% on the same Vantage plan that I use for unlimited access to all their features on a daily basis. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.